talked about. I mean, the I've heard a lot of different versions in the past 6 months on what made games like Day of Defeat great. There are people have their own opinions in that. I will say the big thing that I think we need to nail is just it's two things. I've heard a lot of people talk about skill ceiling being a problem with a lot of newer games. Games that are just you can pop right in and get several kills in your first round. I think we need to make sure that the skill ceiling is high, which Dave Defeat definitely had. But the other part of that is also making it accessible. So, like, if you were to look at, for instance, one of the MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota or probably some new ones I don't know about, those games take 300 hours to be barely competent in. Uh, we we don't want something that's so complex that you need to spend that much time just to be serviceable. And I think that's what was always amazing to me about Dave Defeat was it was so friendly to the pub match casual player. You could hop in for 15 minutes, hop out, but it also worked really well on the competitive side because the skill ceiling was so high. So those are two things that I'd say we're definitely trying to emulate. And it's a little tough because you do have to walk a balance. We've had plenty of players hop into our game already and totally balk at just the amount of recoil. But there's certain things we're gonna hold fast to that we're not gonna compromise on. But we do want people. We do want to get new crowds interested in this game that might not have played any game from before 4 years ago. Yep. So we have the flag capture game mode. We're playing on a couple other game modes. Some which will be similar to I think in Day of Defeat you had maps where both sides are trying to blow up other objectives on the other side. You had maps where one side was attacking, the other was defending. We do have objective based place the satchel charge stuff in the works right now, and that actually I think might turn into a couple different variations. So I can't really say with full precision what the final results are going to be. So I guess the answer is yes, but there are also some other things we want to explore. We've had a lot of requests for search and destroy, which I think our new map Carentan will play very well with. So we know what our bread and butter is, and we're going to keep doing that. But we also would like to explore some other areas. Like attack and defend is something that really excites me. A lot of the realism units, I think, have over the 10 years had a lot of time to create a bunch of creative game modes.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think that's a great resource to pull from. And it is a place that we want to eventually offer a lot of depth in, being alternate game modes, but while still having the primary ones. If that makes sense. It's also a place we are looking to player input, and ideally would even be the kind of thing where we can give you the tools to create your own crazy stuff and submit it to the workshop. So our stretch goals that we hit were for the British first, and or the Commonwealth Army, and then the Russians or the Red Army. Um, Both of those are still planned. They're on schedule. I'm probably going to do them in that order because that's the order in which we laid them out. And we don't consider them just skins. They're new factions that bring a lot to the game. So each of them will have their own set of unique weapons, um, which I'm excited about. And we're going to launch each one with their own map. So we're not going for pure realism, but we want all of our we are looking at at history and real life for inspiration for our maps, and we want all our maps to feel plausible because that's a big part of it's just part of game immersion, which is important to us. We don't want Russians storming the beach at Omaha, but not to say we're not going to provide you the ability to select on your server which teams play on which maps. But we would like to launch each faction with at least one map that is unique to them. And then once that faction's launched, that's kind of opened up that door for us to make more maps with that faction.